bruh, bruh, bruh. Well, hey there, everybody. It's time to take a look at Synthetik Ultimate, formerly known as Synthetik Legion Rising. You can search for either name on Steam. You will find this game. They are one and the same. It was released in 2018 by Flowfire Games, and it is on the Steam sale right now. And I recommend not buying this one at full price, because some people balk at like, what? This is what you're getting at that price? And that's true. Full price, a little much. Sale price makes sense. Anyway, Synthetik is an isometric shooter. Oh, my very favorite. And it is a roguelite. It is set in an alternate reality 1980s where the AI has, reached sentience and all of the machines rise up against the humans and generic sci-fi plot ensues. Yeah, that's right. Very generic. As a matter of fact, I actually skipped the all of the lore that happens at the front of the game on accident. I just pushed a button and it skipped it, and then I didn't miss it. And then I was like, I might as well go back and figure out what the story of this game is. And then when I found it out, I was like, oh, okay. It's like The Matrix or Terminator or RoboCop or whatever. Like, it's insert generic sci-fi plot point here. Anyway, but yeah, humanity, when the AI rises up against them, their only hope is to employ a RoboCop. No, I mean a formerly discarded cyborg project, which is you. You play as this, meeting of technology and humanity, and you are humanity's only hope. And your job is to go into these levels, each of which is a big arena full of baddies and all sorts of different things that are going to try and kill you, and you just blow up everything that tries to kill you, basically. That's kind of how it goes. And that part is easy to figure out. You don't need all the lore to know that, like, oh, this guy's shooting at me, I better shoot him first. So yeah, there you go. But yeah, the fun thing about it is that as you're making your way through the levels, there is an absurd number of guns that you can pick up. When you start each level, depending on your class, and there are multiple different classes, and it's one of the things that makes the game fun, so you can really kind of customize it to the way that you like to play. The default is this sort of rogue kind of player, and I didn't like that one, so I switched it to the heavy, where you start out with a heavy machine gun, but it takes a minute to spool up. It's kind of like a chain gun. Anyway, and then it's kind of inaccurate, but does a lot of damage. Yeah, that's what I chose to play as instead. And, kind of like Castle Crashers, you build up your character in the class that you have selected, and you can choose different classes. It would be like choosing a different knight in Castle Crashers. But, if you haven't upgraded your rogue very much, then he's going to be super low, as opposed to your heavy, which I upgraded quite a bit. So, yeah, you can play as different things to add to the replayability of the game, which is pretty high. Which is what you want in a roguelite or a roguelike, because roguelites and roguelikes, they demand that you play them again and again in order to build up your character, and, dying is a part of the game, and each death brings you closer to actually beating the game. And that is true here, but you can tell a good roguelike from a bad roguelike by how much you want to play it again. And the thing that you need to know about this one is that I needed to, for these reviews, I need to capture maximum 20 minutes worth of footage. and I captured over 40 minutes worth of footage because I was having so much fun doing it. And that's, that is the acid test. Is the game fun? Is it fun over the course of multiple playthroughs? My answer is yes. There are some detractors on this game. Not everybody loves it. And in looking through some of the comments, because there's there's a guy on Steam whose opinion I value quite a bit. It's this guy, Obey the Fist, because he tells me when things are an asset flip, which is going to be important when I do my budget extravaganza, which is coming pretty soon, actually. I should probably get on that in the next couple of days or so. But yeah. So this guy tells me when a game is an asset flip, but he also reviews all kinds of games, including this one. And he didn't like this game at this price point. And I would agree, like the actual full retail price, no thank you. My wife and I have this saying, because we are teachers and therefore poor, and it'll be a thing where it's like, I like this, but I don't like it $20 worth, Like I would buy this if it were cheaper, is what that means. And yeah, like I would absolutely not buy this at a higher price point. But at the price that it is right now, when it's on sale, yeah, that feels right. That feels like what it's worth. Anyway, did I talk about the guns? Did I talk about how much fun it is that there are such an absurd number of guns in this game? And once you get past your regular loadout, you don't know what it is that you're going to pick up. There are these little crates. You go and stand in front of them, and they automatically open. And some crates give you upgrades. Some crates give you, some crates give you upgrades. Some crates give you ammo, and some crates give you guns. And you don't know what you're going to get out of these crates. And very often it's a gun you've never seen before, because there's like over 100 guns in this game that you can get. It's a stupid number of guns. And so yeah, that's part of what keeps it fun and keeps me coming back, is that like, once I get past my heavy machine gun, which I actually don't like that much, but I like the the character build for the heavy. Like I like the way that he's built. And so yeah, very often I'll end up start out using my pistol early quite a bit, and then eventually I'll pick up something else, grenade launcher, or a massively explosive sniper rifle, or something fun. And then just go full ham on it. That is what makes this game fun. And yeah, that's the entire thing. That's what I care about the most, is whether or not I'm having fun while playing a game. And I did have a lot of fun playing this game. One of the other things that makes it fun is that you have quite a bit of customization available to you. I will talk about this a little bit more later on, but there are some features that you can turn on or off, which will make the game more fun for you. But the wide array of classes, more than anything, lets you choose and really hone in on, like, okay, what do I like to play as? What is my play style? And you can mix and match and figure out and just try different things and see what works for you. I found that I really liked the heavy, and so I just played him and upgraded him pretty solidly, and so now it's a build that I'm really comfortable with. And I should go back and play as other classes. I should really explore those things, but as for right now, I'm pretty happy as the heavy. So yeah, good stuff. And here's another thing, is that you can actually change the gameplay experience in the middle of a level, because there are these quest things that you can pick up, which if you accept the quest, it'll drop a few super hard enemies randomly somewhere in the level and be like, okay, kill these guys, and when they're killed, then you have the quest completed, and once you complete the quest, then you get some cool prize. Might be a gun, might be an upgrade, who knows. It does not tell you, but it just asks you, do you want to do this quest? And sometimes if you're low health, you might be like, no, I'm not taking on, crazy assassin bots right now. Or if you're full health with a good gun, you might be like, yeah, let's do it. And so, yeah, you get to make those choices in level. And, oh, yeah, don't forget, there are also boss fights. And the boss fights, some of them are not too difficult to figure out and not too difficult to make it past. They get kind of bullet hellish. And you just sort of find your way through, and like you do with the bullet hell. And then some of them are just wildly unfair. There was one where I had kind of low health. There were no health pickups around. And I came up against a boss who just wrecked my day in 2 seconds, and then it was all over. And then, you can't just restart back at that boss because the whole roguelite thing. And I do mean roguelite because, you build up your character over time. Some of the character buffs are in level only, and some of the character buffs stay with you through the gameplays. The ones you get in between levels that stay with you, just like any other roguelite you've ever played. Anyway, so let's talk about some of the more specifics of what I liked and what I didn't like, and then we will wrap it up. Love that it's an isometric shooter. Love that it has good balance of upgrades and challenge. You never feel like completely outmatched, and you never feel like, I can't upgrade my character, but it's also not like, oh, I got an upgrade. Oh, I got an upgrade. Oh, I got, because some games are like that, and then where's the fun? I like that there's an emphasis on tactics. You got to use cover. You got to make sure that you're, if you're backing away from an enemy, that you're not backing into a place that has even more enemies, because you can do that. You got to be aware of where you're going. And the non-linear gameplay where you decide, it's kind of like Gauntlet. You just need to make it to the exit. You can decide whether or not you want to kill everybody. I always decide that I want to kill everybody because I want to get all the upgrades and ammo and all the cool stuff. But you decide what you want to do. I love the class system. We've already talked about that. So many classes. I like that you can skip the lore because you really don't need. They could have just been like generic sci-fi plot, and you'd have been like, okay, cool. And I like that you can customize your experience, and that there are so many guns. What I don't like the aiming reticle. Feels useless and pointless. I hate it. I wish there were no reticle and you just swivel your gun with the right stick and swivel your character with the left. Just like so many shooters that I really, really like. Yeah, the GUI is super busy. There's too much information all at once. Feels like drinking from a fire hose. Kind of a pain in the butt. And I don't like the discard your spent cartridge and reload buttons. Don't like that that's default. They're clunky, they don't match up, and it drives me crazy. And so I disabled them and just had it auto reload, which makes the game easier in the eyes of the game, because you can enable and disable various functions of the game. And it, if you set it to auto reload, it's like, okay, you're playing on an easier mode now. And it's like, okay, whatever, I don't care, because I hate your reload system. Anyway, let's put the final score on it. Final score wise, we're going an 8 out of a possible 10 Guts action figures, because Guts, the action figures for when you don't want the little green army men, but your mom won't buy you G.I. Joes, and she's like, look, you can get 4 of these for the cost of 1 G.I. Joe. And indeed you could, and indeed these were a staple of my childhood. What about all y'all? Y'all remember these? Guts action figures. I love these Laser Force, and I love the Samurai Force, or the Ninja Force. I forget what they were called. Anyway, people, that's going to do it for this one. I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.